Okay, so let's just get started. This first slide clearly says the money is not in the list. That's a pretty common thing, and that's kind of there is a lot of money in your list actually, but if I was to name one thing that the money is really in, what do you think that would be? Like, what's the most valuable thing you could have as a running your own online business? So make a guess, type that into the question box. What do you think the money is really in if it's not in the list? Okay, getting some good answers. Your website, advertising, your product, sales. Those are all good guesses. So we'll get into we'll get to this answer in a minute. So that's kind of the title of this webinar. Whoops. So let's keep going. Okay. So from my experience in dealing with thousands of people and helping people have their first success online, including my own, there are exactly three things that matter. There are three main things that determine somebody's success more than anything else. So it's not the method they're using or the kind of the business model they're doing. There's three main things that people's success kind of hinge on. So I just want to go over real quickly how I got started, how I got into all this. And at this point, I've been doing this for years. So it's been a while. So at the end of this webinar, if you stay till the end, I've got a free gift for you that you'll be able to download. Things to remember as I go through this: I have very average intelligence. You can probably tell by just hearing me talk. I'm not a genius. And it's taken me a lot of time and a lot of work to get this figured out, to get to this point. So my very first job was at Walmart, and I worked in lawn and garden. There's nothing wrong with that. So I liked it at first, actually. It was my first real job. And somehow I was like a weird teenager, I think. I would read business books, and I had subscriptions to like Forbes magazine and stuff, which is weird. None of my friends were into that stuff. And I listened to heavy metal. So I was like the typical teenager except for this business stuff. And I don't know where that came from. So I would read this stuff, and I figured out, okay, you're not going to get ahead like working hourly at Walmart. So I started having those kinds of ideas. Then I got into sales, because with sales, there's commissions. It's based on your performance. I did door-to-door sales, and door-to-door sales paid a lot, but it just wasn't worth the mental anguish after a while. Then I actually started my own pest control business, so my own regular business. And having my own business was cool. I liked it. I liked a lot of things about it. I didn't like a lot of things about it. It's a ton of work, hands-on work that never really stops. And I ended up selling that to a bigger company. And then somewhere within all of that history, I got started thinking about the potential of, a website that sits there, some kind of online property that can kind of make money around the clock. And I would just stand at work and hate that I had to be there. So I also hated the idea of getting promotions at work, that it took years of paying your dues, quote unquote, and I just knew that there were people out there that, in 0 to 6 months or 0 to a year, 0 to 2 years, were building their own business, doing all kinds of things, not just online. So that's kind of how I started my own business the first time. So as far as websites, I kind of started doing this stuff on the side, and my first site was about bodybuilding, which was laughable, and I had no idea about keyword research or how to do that correctly. That was the big thing looking back. And I actually I kind of followed what would be a successful formula. I wrote a lot of content. I didn't get distracted, but I was targeting keywords like bodybuilding and build muscle, and nothing happened. That's the bottom line. Then I started reading about making money online, came across the idea of Payperclick. I set up an account, ended up spending $300 in no sales. So that was kind of part two. Then I gave up. After that, I gave up for a long time, and somehow came across the idea of niche sites again. And I figured out SEO a little bit. I had one, this first kind of niche site, and how to get small sites ranked. I finally started to see some sales, and the rest is history. I'm not saying niche sites is the best method. I will get to that and kind of, well, you'll see. You can do a lot of things online, and even right now I do a lot of different things online, kind of different avenues, I guess. And niche sites is a great starting point. I still have some that sit there and generate sales, pretty hands off at this point, but it's not my main thing. So the things that I've done is info product creation, affiliate marketing, email marketing, Amazon sites, authority sites, membership sites, and most recently Kindle publishing. Kindle publishing has been my focus the last year and a half, I guess. So I hate these things, proof of earnings, and these are old. Like these, I have a bunch of separate ClickBank accounts, and you'll see why. It's one of the first things I figured out was creating my own info products for these small, tiny niches. And so I have all these separate ClickBank accounts out there that still, sit there and make sales, but it's nothing huge. It definitely adds up. What is this? PayPal transfers for a month, I guess, from PayPal into my main bank account. So just to tell you, my results aren't typical. It takes a lot of work and time and effort to get results like these. And I don't guarantee any level of success or income from my methods. I can show you what I've done. And the fact is, though, that most people still won't put in the time and effort required to kind of learn this stuff and get results, because it does take a while. So let's get into the good part. Back to the three things. The three things that I've kind of realized will determine if someone's successful or not. So back to that original question. The money's in the skills, right? So how many of you have purchased an info product? Any type of like internet marketing related product. Maybe it's about Kindle, I don't know, list building. How many of you have bought some kind of internet marketing product before? Just type in the question box. So, I would guess almost everyone on here. So I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Yeah. Which, whatever. It's not a good or a bad thing. I have too. So the three things are skills primarily, and then traffic or lack of traffic, and then information overload or lack of focus. So right now, I bet anyone on this webinar could write out a successful formula for like a website and kind of a email marketing kind of strategy. Anyone on this webinar could do that. And if you didn't buy, any other courses or anything, and you just spent the next year or 2 years doing that, you would probably be successful. I got to be careful with that because there are some technical things you need to know. Because my first example was I poured a bunch of time into a site not really knowing what I was doing, and it didn't go anywhere. But my point is, it's not really, that you don't know some secret that's out there that other people are doing that you just need to find out about. That's not how it is. You probably know enough to go out and be successful, but your biggest problem is lack of the right skills and putting in time to make those skills even better, and then the information overload and the lack of focus. Like, for every 2 hours you have to work on your business, you probably waste like an hour and a half or something reading emails or buying new courses and getting distracted, that kind of stuff. So that's what stops most people. And that probably makes sense, right? So let's talk about each one of these things. So the skills. What am I talking about? Which ones? I would say the primary skill is copywriting. That copywriting just means how to communicate that gets a prospect to take an action. It might be opt into your email. Well, it might be click an ad, opt into your email, buy something, buy an upsell, and then keep opening and reading your emails. Whatever, any of those things. Getting a prospect to take an action, being persuasive enough to get them to do that. The next one is keyword or market research. I almost want to throw the word keyword out of that, because research goes a lot deeper than that. Just keyword research to like set up the keyword research to choose your URL or your domain. That's what I was trying to say. It's a lot deeper than that, and it ties into copywriting. So for example, if you've read Perry Marshall's book 80-20 Marketing, he has a little chart in there. There's this chart buried in this book, just on one page, and this chart is extremely valuable. It has I think $10 an hour tasks, $100 an hour tasks, $1,000 an hour tasks, and $10,000 an hour tasks or activities that you can spend your time doing. And in the 10,000, I thought this was really interesting. In the $10,000 column is research and improving your USP, like your unique selling position. And that's very true. So like when I sit down to, maybe I'm going to outsource a Kindle book, which I do quite a bit, I will spend, several hours digging through the bestseller titles. I'll make like a spreadsheet of the same words I keep seeing, things like that. And then I'll read comments and look for the same words. That's kind of what I'm talking about with the research. It's not so much, this keyword this has like 5,000 exact or unique monthly searches, and it has this number in Market Samurai for title competition, that kind of stuff. That's important, but that's not really what I'm talking about. The research, when you get good at figuring out what people in your niche want to know, that's the research I'm talking about. And that is what will make your marketing succeed or not. Is just really getting a deep understanding of what people in your topic really want to know, or the kind of the words that are their hot buttons. The next thing is just golden nuggets. This is something I just call going from knowing about something. So everyone on this webinar, again, you probably know that it's important that you build a list, right? You hear that a million times, and email marketing is so important. And it's almost like you hear that and you just kind of dismiss it, like, oh yeah, I know about that. I'm supposed to like build a list. But I will tell you, I've spent like the last 2 or 3 years, the thing I spend the most time on is figuring out email marketing and just there are so many things to know about it. It's crazy once you really get into it. And so it's just that shift of going from knowing about something, like you're aware of it, like yes, that exists, to really knowing it, like inside and out. Hopefully that makes sense. So those are the kind of the three, when I say skills, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Okay, traffic. The best offer or the greatest product can't generate any money without traffic. Everyone understands that. And you can't improve your skills or test and increase your conversions without traffic as well. So you can't really put all this marketing knowledge to use if you don't have traffic to test ideas on. And then there are 1,000 different traffic strategies, you only need to get good at like one or two, especially at first. And that's what I did. And this just ties back into having a lack of focus or trying to do too many things. So the next one that we talked about was information overload. So this is kind of what I said. The formula for making sales, therefore money, making money online is simple. You need to essentially send traffic to an offer that converts and makes money. Everything else stripped away, that's like, those are the only like two activities that happen. You send traffic to an offer and it converts. These key skills and these tools help you out. But everything else that just really, that sounds good is just wasting your time and making it harder to succeed. And I guarantee you've experienced this firsthand. In fact, if you really think about things, it's probably the biggest reason that, you're not having the success that you want. So just as another kind of random poll, to everyone on the webinar right now, in the last month, how many like quality hours of work, just direct work, like directly on your business, whatever it is, if it's a website or building landing pages, writing a book, whatever it is, how many hours, direct productive hours have you spent on your business, would you estimate, in the last month, the last 30 days? Yeah, so, okay, I'm seeing like 4, maybe a few, 3, 12. Not enough. 10 or 15. And that's getting to, that's decent. That's not bad. And that's just how it is. I mean, life's busy. Life gets crazy. Like, it's hard. You have to like take control of the time that you do have and make sure that it's productive. And it's hard to do. So that's what I was trying to point out with that. So the main point, what we're trying to do here is build a long-term lasting business online. You need to learn things like copywriting, SEO, how to improve your conversions. You need to learn how to generate sustainable long-term traffic streams that can't be taken away from you overnight. You've worked 3 months, you're finally ranking for this one keyword, and then there's an update, and all your traffic, all that time goes down the drain. That has also happened to me, and that really sucks, but it's also the time when I kind of was forced to figure out other things, and that's really when my business kind of grew. So you need to learn how to focus and actually be productive when you have time to work on your business. I already said that. So now we're going to go into something. This won't be right for everybody here. It'll be right for some of you. So in the past, like I said, I've created a lot of information products. And then once I, had some kind of things to actually teach to people, I came back and I've created how-to info products in the internet marketing space. And these have all done well. I mean, the courses I've created, they've sold thousands of copies and they've all received really positive feedback. I haven't put out any really like junk, scammy courses or anything. They've all been based on like solid things that work if you put the time in. Never any loophole type things. But I'm not the only person who's done this, right? There are a lot of really good how-to courses out there. And the more I thought about kind of what we've been talking about, what is really behind creating a successful online business, which is now I've summed up into those 3 things we just talked about, I decided to kind of add some courses on those things, add those to the how-to aspect, because that is what most people are missing is the skills. So I put together what is Strayblogger training. You've probably seen this site already. It's my premium training site, Strayblogger training, and it includes all these courses you see here. I don't sell them one by one or separately. I just like the idea of all these different things that all matter equally, I think, into one spot. So you have the Kindle Workshop course, the Keyword and Market Research Pro course, and each one of these courses is several videos, several hours long. I mean, there's a lot of content in Strayblogger training. Free traffic flood, how to create a lot of free traffic streams that won't really shut off. Or the idea is if one shuts off, you have a bunch of other ones. Authority Site Pro, that's a lot of content. Info Product Pro, Productivity Pro, and Copywriting Pro. These are all like full-length courses. There's just a lot of great content in all of these. So these 7 courses will teach you the crucial skills we've been talking about, as well as the how-to behind kind of the most effective things there are online. Kindle, authority sites, info products. Those 3 things make up the core of my business at this point. My own info products, my Kindle books, which all tie into these authority sites. So, and then these are your skill courses. In fact, that was dumb. I should have all the skill courses right next to each other. There we go. Okay, that makes more sense. So through this webinar, you can get this course at a discount. The regular price is $67. I've sold it for more than that even, but the regular price at this point in time is 3 payments of $67. And through this link, you can type this into your browser, or let me attempt to put this in the chat box for you. This special link just from this webinar you can get lifetime access to all the courses, nothing's left out, for 3 payments of $46 instead of $67. Okay, so that should be in the chat box. You can click that and join Strayblogger training. It's the full course, but I don't know what % off that is, but it's less. It's 3 payments of 46 instead of 3 payments of 67. So that's my thank you for attending this webinar and listening to me talk. Testimonials, I could spend a lot of time showing you testimonials, but with a few you kind of get the point. Oh, and I had this set up as like a PowerPoint where I would click through and, I would have these different actions. So I've got all these testimonials hidden back here. I'll just read a couple. So, hey Nate, wanted to write you this quick email, let you know how the $100 days, that was like the original name of the free traffic flood course. Anyways, I started building AdSense sites last December, got my account banned in February, then saw all 100 plus of my sites disappear. That's a heartbreaker, 100 different sites. Along the way, I've seen around 20 BTF-style ClickBank sites rise and fall too. Long story short, the $100 day site I created when you first released your course made $740 in Amazon commissions last month with only around 90 posts, about half of what I would have if I stuck to your 1 hour a day per schedule. In fact, the income has essentially doubled month by month for the past 4 months. Sad fact, out of around 100 sites that I built in the last year, my $100 a day site is the only one getting any traffic. With all the different ways of making money that people out there blogging about, your $100 a day approach is the only one that I've tried that has stood the test of time through all the Google updates. Hence why I've decided to scale up and concentrate 100% on this type of site. So that was from a student named Steve. Whoa, there's a bunch hidden back here. Let's just skip these and say I read them. A lot of people, you'll see them say that I don't like saying, the no BS thing, but a lot of people like my just kind of straightforward, simple approach to things. So you'll see that a lot on testimonials, I guess. Whoops, bring to front. So that's kind of my thing, is just showing people how to do things in a simple way that actually works. I'm not into the loophole methods at all. Here's some more. This is the same thing. These are more testimonials that I was going to have. So when I started out learning internet marketing, it's easy to get overwhelmed with information and suggestions from tons of gurus out there. Nate's Strayblogger training is all you'll need to get started building websites that make money. His training is comprehensive yet simple enough for anyone to implement. So that kind of sums it up. We'll leave it at that. So let's go over the specific courses real quick and what you'll learn. So the Kindle Workshop. In these videos, so every course is video based inside of Strayblogger training. In these videos, you're going to learn how to create a high quality Kindle book that you can, the point of this was a live workshop originally. And the whole point was to go from 0 to having a published Kindle book in 3 to 4 weeks. And it can be done faster. I mean, I've done my own. I outsource Kindle books, but I also write my own still. And I'll write like a 30 to 40 page just kind of nonfiction how-to Kindle book on like a specific topic. I'll do that in a weekend. Like it's no big deal. You probably wrote a bunch of 20-page papers in college, so let's see. You'll learn how to create titles that instantly it's what I was talking about earlier. Just they trigger that thing in your prospect's mind that lets them know, okay, this person gets me. Like this, just the title of this book. Like I want to read this book. You'll write descriptions where people will see kind of one thing. I'll show you a certain way of writing book descriptions, and then the Kindle previews, when you click on the book in the Amazon store, how to write like a bulleted list of benefits that is so tantalizing to people that they'll buy your book just for one of these bullets that they read. And the reason you do that is you don't know what every specific prospect's hot button is, right? So you do a bulleted list of, the key, like these golden nuggets they're going to learn from reading your book. And when you write those in a certain way in a bulleted list, it may just be one of those. But, the prospects want to learn that thing so bad that they'll just buy your book just because of that one bullet point. Whereas most people put a Kindle book up and write like a generic crappy description, and it's no wonder, they don't make any sales. So we talked about that, how to set up your Kindle preview. I'm going to show you free software, how to create covers that actually look good with free software that's already on your computer. This is a good one. Several pro tips for getting your readers to come back and leave glowing reviews for your book, this is crucial for Kindle. That's the most crucial thing there is, actually. You want a lot of sales up front, and you want a lot of reviews to happen like within the first couple weeks of launching your book. That kind of determines a book's success on Kindle, and so I show you how to do that in this course. And I'm going to show you how this all ties into email marketing and higher priced promotions, how to set up these little funnels based on your Kindle books. So that's just the first course, Keyword and Market Research Pro. There's all kinds of traffic sources. I don't advocate focusing solely on SEO, but you'd be stupid to spend any time creating content and not do keyword research and phrases when you're planning out your content. So keyword research done the right way at a certain point, when you start getting attention from the search engines, that can be the difference between your site resembling either a ghost town or a California freeway at rush hour, meaning tons of traffic, right? So I'm going to show you the forgotten approach to SEO that will get you streams of long-term, reliable, repeating traffic. And it goes beyond, obviously, basic keyword research. I'm going to show you how to use keyword tools to find the types of content, not just the keywords, but the types of content that your audience is desperate for. And I'm going to show you how to read keywords so that you know the difference between buyer keywords and info keywords. You should create different kinds of content based on the keyword phrase. And that's just kind of another thing that beginners don't usually know how to do. You'll also learn certain types of phrases that Google loves to rank sites for. And this is just a variation of what I just said. It's based on the type of the keyword, you create a specific kind of content. And there's several very specific types of keywords that most people don't even try to rank for because they don't think about it. And I'll show you what those are. The bottom line is, in this course, you're going to learn how to approach all your content creation and your marketing in a way that will just result in a lot of long-term traffic streams back to your site and your books and everything else you're doing. So the free traffic flood, this walks you through how to build rivers. I've been saying the wrong word the whole time. This will show you how to build rivers of traffic, not streams, of long-term repeating traffic to your site. So in this module, you're going to learn how to set up traffic sources that create a snowball effect as it grows. And this was the course, this used to be called 60 Minutes to $100 Days, because the premise of this course is if you only had an hour a day, this course is set up to show you exactly what to do with that hour every day. It's like a very specific plan. You do task A, then task B, and if you only get through task C in the 1 hour, then the next day, the next hour, you'd go to task D, then back to task A. And it just works. I'm going to show you the two main types of content, how they're different, when to use each one, and how to use each one. And these videos are just the framework for building a tornado of traffic to your site. Now again, it's not a loophole, stupid thing. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But when you set up your site and put in time and effort building this way, you can be confident that you're not wasting your time. And so, you can focus during the time that you have to work on your business. You can do the things that are outlined in this course and know that you're not wasting your time and know that it's going to pay off. Authority Site Pro. This has 12 weeks worth of videos, and each week has anywhere from 2 to sometimes 4 or 5 videos, and they're all pretty long. So there's a lot of content in this to kind of get lost in. So this one I would recommend to use as more of a reference, like as you get through certain through certain milestones with your website and your projects, kind of go to these videos and find the thing that applies, because this site or this course really covers everything again from A to Z. It includes Kindle publishing, email marketing, content structure, money pages, info pages, money pages, your initial autoresponder sequence, curated content, even how to build backlinks, what kind to build to your site, how to research topics for the Kindle books, I kind of mentioned that earlier, how to blend popular elements of your niche into one book, how to create an outline that makes writing it easy, and then an outline as well for the preview. There's all kinds of stuff in this one course. Then an Info Product Pro. This is the course. This was kind of my first course that I made, and I've updated it a bunch of times. This is my first course that I made about internet marketing, because this is what I figured out where I had all my initial success with, was just creating my own info products for these tiny, obscure niche topics. And just setting up these different little income streams that each made like $100 a day. So anyways, my voice is really starting to run out. So this is more of an advanced, I consider this a more advanced course, but the nice thing is it's in there for you. So kind of a logical progression would be, you create a Kindle book, you have an email autoresponder, you start a newsletter, you build a website with pillar pages, ongoing blog posts. It's, the idea is you're turning this into an authority site. And at a certain point, you kind of take whatever your Kindle books are about and make them deeper, turn it into video content, create your own info product. And that's kind of the progression. So this course is in there when you're ready for that. Another, just tons of info exactly about how to kind of map out your content, how to know how to take, okay, this is my topic. These topics I'm going to make my freebie content for my autoresponder, my free e-course to get people to opt in. This is the stuff that I'm going to put in, the week 1 videos. This is the stuff I'm going to put in the week 2 videos. So you'll learn how to do that, how to map out your content, the exact site structure when you do start selling an info product. Everything you need to know, basically. How to deliver and set up your paid product. A lot of people don't know that, or the idea kind of stresses them out. And also, the best video, in my opinion, in this, the thing that stops most people from creating an info product is they don't think they're enough of an expert, or they think like, who am I to create an info product and sell it for a high price? So I have this video in this course called Expert in a Week that will help you kind of destroy those limiting beliefs, but also the actual how-to, like how to learn something well enough in a week, even shorter, to plan out and map out and create an info product on a topic. So it's just a lot of very valuable stuff. It's the blending of skills plus the how-to. Copywriting Pro, as you would guess, is about copywriting. And this is set up as you have a lesson a week for 12 weeks. So there's 12 videos, 12 modules in this course. And it's how to understand and just kind of get good at copywriting. Basically persuasion, how to get people to take action, take little steps, opt in, read your stuff, buy something, keep buying things. That's the process boiled down. Yeah, so 12 videos, they cover different things. Productivity Pro, this will take you from a shiny object chasing maniac to being able to accomplish more in 1 hour than you have in the past 6 months. All in just 12 weeks. That's my sales pitch for that course. So we talked about this earlier. If you think back in the last month and you've probably done, 3 or 4 hours of solid work, it's just clear to see that you can't keep doing that or your business isn't going to go anywhere. So this is the same thing. It's on kind of the same schedule as the copywriting course. There's a module, a lesson, video, whatever you want to call it. There's 1 per week for 12 weeks. And just, that's the bottom line. How to turn into a productivity maniac, and how to learn how to work on the right things instead of wasting your time. So you have nothing to lose. I've gone through many training courses that I've paid anywhere from $500 to $2,000 for, and everything that I learned that has actually worked, you can find that inside these courses. Obviously for nowhere close to that amount. So if you try Strayblogger training and you don't feel like it's worth your investment, if you feel like it sucks, then I will give you your money back with no questions asked for 60 days. I truly don't want your money if you don't feel like you've gotten more in return. So you have nothing to lose. Just give it a try. Click this link in the chat box and join Strayblogger training. You will like the training a lot. And if you don't, I will just give you your money back. So if we tried to value this whole thing, first of all, several of these courses that I mentioned, when I sold them by themselves, will cost more than this whole thing that I'm telling you right now, the 3 payments of 46. Or we could just do basic math on the productivity course alone. So let's say that your time's worth even just $10 an hour. So even if you just learn one thing that saves you 30 minutes a day, that's a savings of $35 per week, $140 per month, $1820 in a year. And that's just savings. That's just productivity. That's not the knowledge you're going to learn about how to create more money, create revenue from your websites, from your marketing. So that makes it pretty clear as well. Or let's say that through the copywriting course, you're able to increase the conversion rate on your emails or your sales page. Let's say on your sales page by 1%. If you're selling a $37 product with a $77 upsell, that's kind of the model I show you in the Info Product Pro, by the way. Then you're able to go from 5 sales a week to 10 sales a week with a 20% conversion on the upsell. That's an extra $262 per week. So I mean, there's just the bottom line is the stuff you're going to learn in the course for 3 payments of 46 is well worth the investment. You'll have lifetime access to the course afterwards as well. So here's one more graphic kind of about how I visualize how this goes. You've got kind of tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 in your kind of marketing online business journey. And the free traffic flood, I kind of see that in the Kindle Workshop as the kind of beginner courses. That's not to say, though, that I still spend a lot of my time based on my Kindle business. I'm just saying that I like the Kindle business because it's easy to get up and running. You listening to this webinar right now, you could have a book published on Kindle in the next week. Let's just say even the next 4 weeks. If you join and just go through the steps in the Kindle Workshop that I show you, then you'll have a published book. Then you can take these other things, the Keyword Research Pro, the Free Traffic Flood, the Authority Site Pro, and start to create kind of your home base, send more traffic to the Kindle books from your own site and the things you're doing on your website, which will increase your seller rankings. You build an email list at the same time. You release more Kindle books. When you launch them and you have a list behind it, it's easy to get into the top 10,000, the top 5,000 with the Kindle store. And at that point, things really just start to snowball and this whole thing gets easy. But there's work up front to get to that point, and you understand that. Then the Authority Site Pro, Productivity Pro, these skill courses, these just kind of work and improve things. They help your business in the background. And then the Info Product Pro, I consider that kind of maybe the advanced course. So that's how it all fits together. Again, the sale's only good for the next 48 hours. And that's it. That's my pitch for you should take action. I think people's biggest enemy in their creating their online business is free information. You need to, so if I sound like an idiot and you don't think anything that I've said makes sense, you should go find a course that you resonate with and buy it, and then ignore everyone else and just focus on that course. That's the best thing you can do. You don't want to keep distracting yourself with all these epic blog posts from all the main bloggers out there that give you 100 different ideas. And a month later, you've done nothing on your business. And I know that's happened to you. So if you have any questions for me, we can just do Q&A right now. Just type them into the question box. I've actually covered a lot of stuff. So any types of questions you have, go ahead and ask them. And again, that link is in the chat box to join Strayblogger training, the $46. I'm starting to see comments. People have joined already. They're already logged in. Amy's joined and logged in. Dave has joined and logged in. So Okay, so let me just look back through these questions. One question I've got here is, should I start with Kindle or go straight to my own info product? Well, I'll give you the classic answer. It depends. That's not true. Let me give you the real answer. I would start with a Kindle book, because a Kindle book is maybe a fifth of the effort of creating an info product. And the nice thing with Kindle is you can put the Kindle book on there in the next week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. I mean, it really just however fast you make it. And you can kind of see how things go. If it makes sales, if you kind of get feedback from people, from your readers, that, or just the reviews themselves. If the reviews are bad, you'll know that you're just kind of off. You're off somewhere, and you can keep improving that. It's a less risk, I guess. That's the bottom line. So I would start with the Kindle book for sure. Are you guys, can you still hear me? I'm getting someone saying my audio dropped. Hello? Okay. All right. So I'm still here. Yeah. So that's short answer is I would start with a Kindle book for sure. The other thing I would say is people make things way too big of a deal. Make your first Kindle book like 40 pages and split up your topic into like 3 Kindle books. So make each one 40 pages, sell the first one for 99 cents. So I'm giving you guys a free tip here. Make the first one 99 cents, connect the two both through the publishing interface when it asks you if it's part of a series or not. Connect them as a series. And yeah, that's you'll make a lot more money and a lot more sales. Whereas most people would think, oh, I'm going to make this awesome. I'm going to pack in all this information, make it 200 pages, sell it for $2.99. It's a great deal. People will love this. People will like it just as much, and then people have to buy 3 of them to get, if you split it up. And for these how-to topic type books, that's normal. Like that's what you would do. Okay, so another question is, so you don't worry about SEO? ? So they're asking me, based on what I've said here, it sounds like I don't worry about SEO. That's kind of true. I don't specifically really try to rank for keywords anymore like I used to. I used to spend all this time. I would check my rankings like 5 times a day. It was like this obsession. And that was before, I can't even remember of the main Google update that kind of like wiped out my niche sites. But yeah, since then, I do my keyword research. I kind of do the deeper kind of behavior, what does this niche or market want type research that I was talking about. I create Kindle books for a site or a project, whatever you want to call like each self-contained thing. Create an email list, pillar articles, and this kind of is going into what's in the Authority Site Pro training. And just kind of go from there. And your site starts to get traffic. The sweet thing about Kindle is Kindle can send you like quite a bit of traffic. And it's all like buyer traffic. And so you start with that, you build a list, you create these, good high quality blog posts each week. So you're keeping in touch with your list, you're creating, you're adding value to them by sending out these blog posts. You start adding in offers, you start to get some search engine traffic. Anyways, how to do all that and set it up correctly from the get-go is in these courses in Strayblogger training. Okay, so one question, the sites I'm talking about, are they just simple one-pagers? No, not at all. Now, I do have some of my small info product sites are, they're like 5 or 10 pages, that's it. But now what I focus on is our big sites. I'm trying to get to like 50 to 100 pages of content. And you don't need this like starting out, but I do a lot of paid traffic at this point. Don't let that distract you. Like, that doesn't matter. You do not have all the internet marketing stuff lately has been basically making you think that if you're not doing paid traffic, you're you're behind or something like that. That's not the case. YouTube is my favorite source of free traffic, and I do crappy, simple PowerPoint videos that send me traffic for the last like 5 or 6 years. Never slow down. YouTube is like the best free traffic source there is. Okay, so I think, let's see, I'm getting real close to an hour. My voice hurts. There are a few questions that I'm skipping, but I kind of answered them in other ways. So if you have a question that I missed, you really want to get an answer to, just send me an email, nate@strayblogger.com. Otherwise, I hope to see you inside a Strayblogger training. And this special is only good for the next 48 hours. So I would recommend you give it a try. If the stuff I've said here makes sense, click the link in the chat box, join, start putting the stuff into action, watching the videos, and I think you'll really like the training. You'll get a lot out of it. So thank you for attending the webinar and listening to me for 53 minutes. I appreciate it, and feel free to send me an email, ask me any questions you have. All right, have a good night.